Welcome to Simply Storage, Platforms, part of a series detailing various basic aspects of data storage. Platforms are the devices that actually store the data. There is a lot of digital data being generated every day. Every time you call a friend on a cell phone, surf the internet, or listen to music on an MP3 player, you're reading and writing information. Now consider your neighbor doing the same, and your friends, and their neighbors, and don't forget about email, TV, and businesses all around the world storing sales and personal records, and health providers with medical records, research firms, community organizations, churches, sports teams. Whew! You get the idea. That's a lot of data. If we're ever to make use of all this data, we need a way to store it. Every digital device makes use of memory chips. These are silicon wafers that can store data as bits. A bit can either be a 1 or a 0. They take the same amount of space. 8 bits are equal to 1 byte. How much actual data can a byte represent? Well, think of a byte being equal to 1 character, a letter on a page. To store an entire page of data, you would need as many bytes as there are letters on that page. Obviously, we need a lot of bytes. To make it easier to describe, about 1,000 bytes are referred to as kilobytes. About 1 million bytes become megabytes. And around 1 billion bytes equals 1 gigabyte. At these sizes, memory chips are no longer enough. It takes too many of them to store this much data. Enter the magnetic disk drive. Although newer chips, such as flash memory devices, are more efficient with their storage, the magnetic disk drive is still the most common data storage platform because it is both fast and capable of handling huge amounts of data. Current disk drives usually store many gigabytes of data. The newest ones can store a full terabyte. That's about 1 trillion bytes. But even that is not enough for some users. Some data centers want to store petabytes of data. That's 1,000 terabytes. So we're going to need a lot of disk drives. Oh yeah, if you keep going, you can eventually get to exa, zetta, and yottabytes, but let's not get that carried away. If we just attach some disk drives directly to computers or other digital devices, we are using what is called direct attach storage, or DAS. Virtually every digital device uses some form of DAS, but the inability to share storage space between devices or help in the case of drive failure are serious limitations. To deal with these limitations, the largest and most dynamic storage platforms are the storage arrays. Large groups of drives packaged together behind hardware whose only purpose is to manage the drives and their capacity using technologies like RAID. These big racks can store data as files to be shared over the network or attached into a fiber channel fabric to be directly accessed by multiple machines. Attaching over the network is called Network Attached Storage, or NAS. Using a fiber channel setup is a Storage Area Network, or SAN. Technology is blurring the lines between these designations, but the terms are still in use. Trying to manage these huge systems can be taxing even for experienced persons. Thankfully, good storage systems come with software to help set up the system and perform common tasks. The best software can even automate tasks and make storage systems application aware, able to handle changing data requests without human intervention. So storage platforms range from the smallest memory chips to the largest storage arrays. Their use is universal, but there are many different types and configurations to consider. And that is Simply Storage Platforms.